Hello, this is Miss Thomas, and in today's lesson 12.7, we'll be describing triangles. How can you use sides and angles to help you describe triangles? Well, here, let's look. There are two ways that you can describe a triangle. You can describe a triangle by the length of its sides or the sizes of their angles. For example, in triangle A, this side, and this side are all of equal length. So I can say that that triangle has all equal sides, or it's equilateral. The next triangle, in triangle B, this side and that side is the same, but this side is not. It's longer. So I can say that triangle B has two sides that are the same. And remember in lesson 12.6, I told you that this one line here and this one line here means that those two sides are the same, and the two lines on the other side means that that one is different than the others. Now let's look at triangle C. Triangle C has that side, which is a different length than that side, which is a completely different length from that side. That triangle has all sides of different lengths. I have just described those triangles by their sides. Well, how else can we describe triangles? We can also describe triangles by their angles. Well, if I look here in triangle A, I can see that the angles on triangle A are all smaller than a right angle. Remember, a right angle would make a perfect corner, so it would start here and go all the way up here. That would be a right angle. But because triangle A's angle goes from here to here, it is smaller than a right angle. Also, this angle is smaller than a right angle, and so is this. So if I was describing that triangle by its angle, I would say that triangle A has all angles that are smaller than a right angle. Now let's look at triangle B. Triangle B, look at what we have here. A perfect corner. Do you remember what a perfect corner would be called? What kind of angle would make a perfect square corner? Yes, a right angle. So triangle B has one angle that is a right angle, and these two are smaller than a right angle. So I can describe B as having one right angle and two angles that are smaller than a right angle. Now let's look at this one, triangle C. If I look at triangle C, I notice that it has two angles that are smaller. That one and that one are definitely smaller than a perfect corner. I can see that those are a little smaller, so those are smaller than a right angle. And it has one angle that is larger than a right angle. If it was a perfectly square corner, it would stop right there. But if you notice, this one is longer, it's wider. It goes from here to here. It goes all the way out here. It's not a right angle. So triangle C has two angles that are smaller and one angle that is larger. So now I have described those triangles using their sides and their angles. So in this activity, we're going to be drawing lines to match the description of the triangles. All right. First it says here, we're going to be looking at for triangles that have no sides equal. Here, next to it, we're going to be looking for triangles that have two sides that are equal. And last, we're going to be looking for triangles that have three sides that are equal. So let's see. And then we're going to match them. Here I'm looking at triangle A. And if I notice triangle A, this one, and this one, and this one, those are the angles. We're looking at the sides. Let's go back. All right. I could also describe triangle A by the angles, but we're looking at the sides. Okay, so I have this side and this side that are the same, and this side are the same. It has all three sides of equal length. Now let's look at this one. In triangle B, it has this side and this side that are the same, but this side is longer. So it has how many sides that are equal? You're right, two sides that are equal. Triangle E has this side and this side that are the same, but this side is smaller. So triangle E has, correct, two sides that are equal. And if I look at C, this side is a different size than this side, which is a different size than that side. And D also, this side is different than that side and that side. So these triangles have no sides that are equal. I have described those triangles by the length of their sides. Now let's go down. Lastly, we are going to now describe the triangles by their angles. Let's look at our options. Here it says it's going to have one angle that is a right angle. Remember, it makes a perfectly square corner. That does, okay. Let's make that better right here. So if it has a perfectly square corner, it would have one angle that is a right angle. And next it says one angle will be greater than a right angle. And last it says three angles are less than a right angle. Okay, so first we're looking for one angle that has a right angle. We're looking for one angle that is greater than a right angle, and we're looking for all three angles that are less than a right angle. So let's see what we can match up. First we have triangle C. And these markings inside of triangle C tells you that that is the angle it wants you to focus on. Those light blue arrows that they have made inside of the angle is telling you this is the angle we want you to focus on. And if I look at this angle, I can see that that angle is larger than a right angle. It is greater than a right angle. So this triangle has one angle that is greater than a right angle. So I can match it there. Now let's look at the middle triangles A and E. All of these angles are, let's see, can you figure that out? Are those angles a perfect right angle? Are they greater than a right angle, or are they less? Yes, they are smaller or less than a right angle. Remember, a right angle makes a perfectly square corner. And last, let's look at B and D. Wow, guess what they have inside of the angles on B and D? They have this little square. And that little square always tells you one thing. It tells you that you are looking at a right angle. It puts the square in there so you can see that that is a right 90-degree angle. So I don't have to figure it out. I already know that those triangles have one right angle. Now we have looked at two ways to describe triangles, by their sides and by their angles. Time for you to practice in lesson 12.7.